Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. Today we are going to do the results video for our 3-part series on epilogue and collector boxes for March of the Machine Aftermath. A little quick recap for you. First off, I own a game store. You can go support that store at gamegrove.gg. You can also support by hitting subscribe and following along and leaving your comments about this endeavor. But here's a quick recap for you about what we did. We opened a total of 20 boxes. I know this is not like a mass box opening. I understand that mass box openings are different, but this is a small set, so you don't have to open as many boxes as a regular set in order to get that kind of mass box opening feel. We had about 30 boxes left as a store, and we opened 20 of them. We opened 7 collector boxes and 13 epilogue boxes with this question, with this idea of is the value of Nissa gonna hold up the box price? In other words, is it an arbitrage where if you open up boxes due to the value of Nissa being $40 to $50, is it worth it to open up boxes? So yeah, let's get right into it. I'm going to show you guys. We did a live stream last night where we opened up all the boxes, and then today I listed all the cards. If you're interested in buying singles from this set, you can go to gamegrove.gg and hit the singles up in the top, and you can support the channel like that too. So here's the details. And we always get a lot of questions. What is this app? This is the TCG Player Quick List app. So it allows you to scan cards. You see my hands down on the bottom. It allows you to scan cards, and then it adds it into your inventory on TCG Player. This is if you're a seller level 4. So this is the summary of just the collector boxes. So we opened up 7 collector boxes, which has like on TCG Player, I think I assumed $150 a box. It has a value of about $1,000, $1,050. That's kind of the price point that I'm using here to kind of ask the question, is it worth it for you to open it at kind of current TCG market pricing in terms of the box price? And at the end of the day, we pulled, last night if you were watching, we only pulled 3 Nissa in the 7 boxes. We pulled a regular foil, we pulled a retro frame foil, which I believe is the second most expensive because I think the full art, the full borderless foil or the extended art foil is more expensive, and we pulled a foil etch. So those were we only opened 3 Nissa in 7 collector boxes, which was wild to me. I thought that was pretty low, and I honestly, while we were opening last night, thought we were just going to be absolutely screwed. But here's the price points on things. In those 13 boxes, without the Nissas included and just using mythics. So this is, I kind of did the math and only include the mythics without Nissa. We hit $550. So, that was epilogue boxes. My bad. Without Nissa included, we hit $567 in 7 collector boxes. If you add Nissa in there, we hit $700. So again, we had a cost basis of around $1,050. And with Nissa, just the mythics, we hit $700 in kind of this market price value, which is actually up and down based on TCG low. You can see like retro frame, market price is actually lower, regular. So it about evens out. And we'll talk about that in a minute. When we get to epilogue boxes. With the rares, though, we hit $1,200. You can see $1,201. So there is actually, I was surprised, like Sigarda, a card that is, let me sort this by product name. Sigarda, a card that has a lot of value. Look at this. All the extended art foil, $14. The Halo foil, $37. Even just like the regular ones has a little bit of value. Even like Samut has some value. The cards, I thought it was going to be Nissa or Miss. It is really not. But at the end of the day, if you take away 20%, I think when I do this math, I do 1,200, and I'm going to take away 20% to account for the idea that not every card is going to end up selling. That's only $960, which is less than the kind of $1,050 threshold. And so I think that this is really not for the collector boxes the way to go. I really don't think it's worth opening the collector boxes. When you open for singles, you have to account for 2 things. Number 1, you always have to account for fees, which I haven't even really gotten into. I'll talk about that in a second. But for singles, you have to account for that not all the singles are going to sell. If I list up 7 boxes of sealed product, I know for sure I can sell 7 boxes of sealed product. It might take a week, but I know for sure I can sell those. For the singles, you may see some of these cards drop down under that kind of threshold that I sell at, which is 50 cents, but also they just kind of sit in the marketplace for a while and they don't always sell as fast. So I just accounted for 20% of this not selling, which puts us down under that threshold of $1,050. Now, here is why I'm not really accounting for fees, and that is because I was going to sell these boxes as boxes anyway. Now, you would have to account for fees because you as a consumer would be buying the boxes with hopes of making money, and that's just not going to happen. For collector boxes, it's definitely not the route to go. But let's move on to epilogue boxes, because I think there's a little bit of a difference. So the one more recap on the numbers there, I would say with rares, you're at $1,200. If you take away 20% of that, you're at $960. This was for 7 boxes at a cost of about $1,050. So all in all, a loss there, but not too much of a loss. And if you would have pulled more Nissas, then we would have done good. Like, look how many Karns we pulled. Look how many Karns we pulled. We pulled a ton of Karns. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that's Kiora. Sorry. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Karns. So if we would have pulled 6 Nissas, it would have been a lot different. But all right, let's move over to epilogues. Let me open up that one. For the epilogue ones, yes. For the epilogue boxes, and remember, all these singles are on TCG Player on my account. If you go to gamegrove.gg, you can buy the singles without paying fee, or without me having to pay fees on them. That would help us out a lot. So if you are looking for these cards, I'm listing them as soon as I post this video. So if you do want to support, you can do that. All right, so epilogue boxes, we opened 13 epilogue boxes, which has a value of around $819. I believe that's at $63 a box times 13. Yeah, that's at $63 a box. We opened up 13. We did pull in those 13 boxes. We pulled 7 Nissas. So my predictions in my first video on the series was that we were going to get Nissa. Sorry, we pulled 8 Nissas. 7, 8. I forgot that one. My prediction was that we were going to get 60% of boxes that have Nissa, and that was about perfect. We opened 13 boxes and we got 8 of them. So that's about perfect at the 60%. So that's pretty accurate. So I don't think Nissa is short printed. I don't think that is the case in this set. I just think you have to open in volume enough to hit the average of like a 60% per box. So we'll talk about that in a minute, what it means for consumers. But total value here without Nissa would have been $550. You include Nissa in there and just mythics, you're at $875. And then the rest of the rares, if you add up all the rest of the cards, kind of what we do is above 50 cents is kind of what I'm comfortable selling on TCG Player. You're at $1,195. And that does include 44 filter outs. And I know what you're saying, Louis, you're really going to list 44 filter outs. Well, yeah, I am. I'm not going to worry about remembering to list them at 4 at a time and whatever. I'm just going to list them. They'll be at a low of 50 cents, and people who want play sets will end up buying from me as a result of, I have the play sets available. So that's what I'm going to do with that. So if you take away the 20%, if you account that 20% of these cards, the value of these cards won't sell, which I think is I'm shooting high here. Like, I don't want to give bad information to you, so I'm shooting high. So I'm saying 20% of the value of these cards won't sell. You're at $956 in value compared to the $819 for the epilogue boxes, which equates out to a $73 per box EV. That's minus 20%. So taking away 20%, you still have a $73 per box EV, which I think is fantastic for the epilogue boxes. Listen, as a store, this works a ton better. So that's the summary of it. We'll get into what it means for store. For you, I don't know that I would tell you to buy this. I'm not sure that this, in my mind, I'm not sure that that going online and buying a $63 box of epilogue boosters, having to pay taxes, waiting, and then opening them is going to net you a profit. You're going to have to do it in volume, A. And B, you're going to pay taxes, which I think is kind of going to lose for you. Secondly, then, you've got to do it in volume. And like, if you're just opening 1 or 2 boxes, you can miss the Nissa, and it's just it's going to feel bad. So you got to open, I think, at least probably 5 to 10 boxes in order to make this work. And then at that rate too, it's just, I don't know. So here's the thing for stores though. If you're a store owner, I think you save a ton of money here on shipping, and let me tell you why. A lot of these cards are in the dollar price point, which means that they're $1, $2, $3, or under $5, which means that the buyer ends up paying the shipping costs. Now, when I sell a $63 box on TCG Player, I am paying 15% in fees, which means I'm netting $53 for the box, and then I have to pay about $8 for shipping. And on these boxes, if you use the right box to ship it in, you can actually get away with first class mail, but it's at the highest tier of first class mail, so it's still like $6. So after shipping, I'm only netting $47 a box as a seller on TCG Player when I sell one of these at $63. So to get $73 in value out of the box, and then have a lot of them be, under $5, where people will end up paying the $1 shipping costs, or, whatever, maybe they buy some other singles from the website and it kind of gets the cash flow going. There's a lot of value in not losing the cost on shipping. And then, even when they order a card that is $20, we ship with a single stamp for anything under $25. So I'm saving a lot of money on shipping by taking the time to break it out. So I think for stores, you save money on shipping, but you lose money on time. It does take a lot of time to open the packs. For me, I got to make content out of it. This was a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, for stores, I think it's still worth it to open. If you've got Aftermath boxes sitting around, I think it's worth it to open. So now let's finally talk about, this is the last thing. I want to go to this. Let's talk about, what does this mean for Aftermath singles? I think, man, this is hard. I don't think this box was built very well, obviously. And it was built in a way that has this 1 or 2 cards that are really, really, really great. Now, like I said, there's a lot of value in the other cards, simply put, because people aren't opening the product. People are not doing, what I'm doing. They're not opening the product. I don't think many other stores are mass box opening this. They're going to catch on this week, but I don't think a ton are doing it. So if you have 1 or 2 cards that are going up in value, and then the rest of the cards still hold value, as soon as this starts opening up, I think a lot of those lower value cards are going to deteriorate in value. A lot of the $4, $3, $2 cards are going to become $1.50 cards. But Nissa, if it continues to see play in Modern, I actually think has a huge ceiling, because simply put, people do not want to open up the boxes. I think it actually has a pretty large ceiling until it sees a reprint. I do think we could potentially see Nissa pop up into the $50 to $55 to $60 card for the regular card. And at that point, I think you start seeing a lot of consumers come to the market to open up boxes. So I do think it kind of depends this weekend on if Nissa sees some more play in Modern. And then I think really it depends on how many stores crack open boxes for this. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. This is behind the scenes a little bit for the store of what we did. To summarize, to recap one more time, we opened up $819 worth of epilogue boxes, which was 13. And we came out with $1,195 in value on TCG Player. So we profited on the epilogue boxes. I think we lost some money on the collector boxes, but we also didn't pull that many Nissas. I guess we did, though, we pulled the bottom half of the 60%, right? Is if you get a Nissa if you open 10 boxes and you get 6 Nissas, we opened up 7 boxes and got 3. So we got kind of bottom half. We got the 40% instead of the 60%, which would have kind of offset it a little bit. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Again, if you do want to buy singles from the set and you want to support a guy who's trying to open an LGS or have an LGS and run a store and run events and do all that stuff, head on over to gamegrove.gg. Hopefully you have yourself a fantastic day. Be kind to the people around you, and we'll see you again next video.